Good morning, afternoon, evening. Spectre here, wherever you are, accept the greeting of the day. I'm going to be doing this video off the cuff, no script, and I may go over the same thing 2-3 times. I don't know. But I do want to do this video because 2018 is coming to an end, and I kind of want to go over the positives, the negatives, the shortfalls that I have had, and kind of go over a lot of the stuff that has been sitting with me and my plans for 2019. There's no visual aids for this video, so feel free to listen if you want. I'll try and keep it as short and sweet as I can. Starting off, we're going to go over some IRL stuff for me. Now, my health has been something of a concern for me. For the last 10 years, I have not seen a dentist, and I had not seen a doctor. That has changed. I actually had a physical not too long ago, and while the numbers are, relatively speaking, healthy, there are some causes for concern. Obviously, coming down from having ballooned to almost 300 pounds to dropping to, right now, 240 is a big thing for me, but the damage has been done, and I have to focus on trying to fix what I can to minimize future problems. That means more exercise and everything, a better diet and the like. But right now, I'm relatively healthy. I'm very happy about this. The other thing is my jaw. Obviously, around February of this year, I was hospitalized because of a jaw infection that got out of hand way too fast. And it necessitated a surgery at that time, and roughly 4 months later, I ended up having 3 root canals and an extraction. Now, the root canals also had crowns put on those teeth. I had scaling and everything because my jaw is a mess, or it was a mess, and I'm lucky now because it's relatively speaking behind me. So that has been great. The second thing is real life job. Over the past year, I've been essentially living on a government handout, and that's why I've been kind of mum on the concept, but I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm going to be honest with myself. You know, a lot of people say I am entitled to benefits. I'm not. What I use is veterans benefits. And yeah, sure, it's something that you have to, you have to earn it, but I don't want people to think that I am just, sponging off the government. My previous job was as a security guard, a contracted crossing guard for the town. And during the final few paychecks, the company tried to withhold them from me. I ended up getting the attorney general involved. And when I was told you're free to sue, they gave me the paychecks, but they also started telling possible employers that I had had complaints filed against me by high school students, sexual harassment complaints. Now, the high school principal has said they've never heard anything. The chief of police has said nothing was ever heard. And the company won't talk to me about it. So that has hurt my ability to find employment, and I've been living check to check. Hopefully that's going to end within the next week or next few weeks, really, because I might have a job with the police department, and if so, I'm going to have to reschedule everything. I'm going to have to work around that schedule, but it's also going to give me a lot more latitude in terms of finances, and that's what I really want. That being said, and that's the real life stuff. Let's move on, I guess you could say, to the channels. Obviously, this year, not only have I started up Spectre 06 Gaming, the primary channel, but I've also started up a secondary channel, Spectre Speaks. That's going to be for my non-gaming videos, kind of the culture warrior BS that other people have gotten into, and I kind of want to cover some of the things, but I don't want to inundate the main channel with that. Obviously, I have some people who want to see my gaming news, and I have other people who want to see the political news. Fine. If you don't, there are people who subscribe to one or the other, and there's a bit of overlap. I don't mind that. But my main focus will always be on the gaming channel, and what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks is I'm going to be focusing on the gaming channel more or less. This video will be uploaded to both channels, but I want people to understand that the gaming channel is going to take priority and it always will. I'm also going to try streaming a lot more often. I want to be consistent. I've said that several times and I have just never done it. I haven't done it for whatever reason. Personally, I think I'm a bit bland. I try to be a little more extroverted, but naturally I'm an introvert, and that stems from, middle school and high school. You've seen my face, you've seen my ugly mug. You can imagine how bad it was in school. It wasn't a fun time for me, and because of that, I ended up really just low self-esteem and whatnot. And the Marines helped me, relatively speaking, to kind of recapture some of that, but it didn't fix everything, and it never will. So I've lost a lot of my sense of humor, and a lot of my sense of humor is more morbid and dark. I'm trying to become a lot more extroverted. And to that end, I've been very lucky because in the wake of the doxing scandal, the doxing claims that have been shown to be patently false, I've been a guest host for Cognitive Thought, and he's a great guy. I encourage people to watch him and subscribe. But he's kind of helped bring me out of my shell a bit, and a lot of the people on his server have done the same thing. I'm more animated than I was a year ago, certainly. Going back to the doxing thing, obviously over the past year, I rolled with the wrong people, so to speak, and I try to correct that. And the whole doxing thing came up because I just refused to toe the line for some people, and my own decisions and my own big mouth kind of put my ass out there. I've apologized for it. It doesn't make it any less of a crappy thing what I had done. But be that as it may, I'm moving past that. And then in the new year, I want to move past that. And to that end, I'm going to be looking at other things. The people who call me a doxer, they're being shown day in and day out to be liars. From Leaf to Tonka Saw to Joaquin Hawk to Underwater Alex Jones, Queen of Bants, name it. They're being shown liars. And Cognitive Thought has been a great help in doing that because he is the first real personality to sit there and say, you know what, I'll hear you out. And when all the evidence was presented, his response was exactly the same thing that I had hoped people would say, and even what I say. It was a crappy thing to do what you did, but you didn't dox anyone. And I'm very happy and I'm very lucky to have somebody like Cog who sat there and listened. But I'm going to be doing my own thing, obviously. And I want to continue to, do collaborations and whatnot with Cog. I love doing stuff with him. But obviously he has his own thing to do, and I'm not always going to be there, and I have my own thing I want to do. I love talking with Cog. I love interacting with Cog. So I do want to thank him profusely. Cog, you've been nothing but a help, and I never want to betray any trust you may have put in me, and I certainly don't want to cause you any grief or anything like that. That being said, I am going to do my own thing, and I think Cog respects that. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. Not by a long shot. If Cog still wants me to come on and co-host with him, I will. In a heartbeat. I love it. But over the past, talking about the streaming over the past week, I've been having some issues with YouTube, and YouTube finally shut down the Spectre Speaks account for a bit, midstream, saying that I was showing bot-like behavior. That has since been fixed. Regarding the streaming, I'm going to try and keep gaming news on Spectre 06 Gaming, and I'm going to keep the political stuff on and IRL stuff on Spectre Speaks. When it comes to the showing video games, when it comes to playing Path of Exile and streaming that, I'm going to look around at Twitch. But with the possible changes coming to the YouTube's partner program, I may be forced to exclusively be on YouTube. So I will have to consider that if I want to do anything. In any case, there is still no Patreon. I'm not asking for money. I've upgraded a lot of the computer. The motherboard, the memory, the power unit. The graphics card is finally upgraded. That happened today. I've got some new hardware and I've got some new software coming. I'm excited for some of the stuff that I've got coming. Devil May Cry 5. Amazon is going to give me that stuff. They've sent me the email saying within the next 2 to 3 business days I will get my codes. So that's very good to hear. I'll have some new content and new stuff to do. But over the next couple of weeks, I am going to be streaming, or I am going to be streaming at least 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. It'll change between channels. It'll change content. I don't know what I'll do. And there may be a 2-hour stream, and then maybe that night I'll do another 2-hour stream. I don't know. What I do know is that I am going to work on consistency, and I hope you will join me. As always, my Twitter is linked below, as are both channels. I hope you will subscribe. I hope you will find the content enjoyable. As I said, there's no Patreon. I'm not asking you to give me money to continue to do this. I don't think my content is that great. I don't think the production value is up there that I should be paid for it. And you know what? I'm okay with that for the moment. I'm okay with that. Once I get up there, once I actually start taking it a little more seriously, then I'll realign, I guess you could say. But until then, it's all free. It's all free. That being said, I do want to hear about what you would like me to do. What would you like to see me do, if anything? Feel free to leave your comments below, and I hope you'll join me in this new year. That being said, I am Spectre, and I am out.